Silver and gold investors have been through the mill over the last 2 years. Things are changing. Today, we have two big events, big stories that we're going to talk about. New concepts, new to me, I believe probably new to you as well. We're going to talk about what Fortune magazine published regarding Bank of America and a major change that's going on right now beneath our very feet in this country, and it's happening to a group of people that we may not feel too sorry for. We're going to cover that, but it will, right? This Bank of America news will impact the price of silver, will impact the price of gold. And you'll understand it here in just a few seconds. But we got to talk about BRICS too, because we've got some new developing stories coming out of the BRICS and a new idea that someone's floating that I hadn't heard too much about that makes total sense and has everything to do with using gold amongst the BRICS countries. Okay, there's so much going on right now. Let's touch quickly on a story out of Iraq. Remember Iraq? That used to be front page news to most of us. I'm 53 years old. How old are you? Right? Remember, Iraq was a big deal. We got a story out today saying Iraq now possesses 132 tons of gold. Now, look, that's not a massive amount, but they've been buying and growing their gold reserves over the last couple years. It says Iraq bought 2.5 tons of bullion to bring its reserves to 133 tons. The director of the CBI's investment department, Mazin Sabah, told Bloomberg that. This goes with the trend we're seeing all around the world and within the BRICS countries, that central banks are buying gold hand over fist. Look, you know, what does it mean to you when you hear that? Central banks are buying gold. Consider central banks, the most sophisticated financial institutions in the world, the most powerful financial institutions in the world. They're buying gold, and they're buying gold at a pace that we haven't seen. They're setting records. The last time they bought gold at this pace, guess what? What does it mean to you when you think about this? We were on the gold standard. The world was pretty much generally on the gold standard. That's the last time central banks were buying this much gold. I mean, I heard Andy Schectman say it the other day. They leave little crumbs. They don't always tell us what they're doing. They never are going to tell you and me what they're doing. They're going to leave little crumbs. I would say that's a big crumb, right? I've got twin 11-year-old daughters. I can tell you what they had for dinner any night because I can go look at the kitchen floor. They leave crumbs. The central banks are leaving you crumbs. They're buying gold. And while this news out of Iraq, it's not earth-shattering, right? But it further vindicates the idea that the world is putting value into precious metals. And do you think that's something for us to pay attention to? I think it is. What else are they doing? They're repatriating gold. They're saying, we don't want our gold to be held in London, England, or New York City in any vault. We want our gold in our country, right? Venezuela tried to repatriate their gold. Countries are repatriating their gold, saying, send us our gold. We want to hold it ourselves. Just like, are you one of those people? I'm becoming more and more of one. If you don't hold it, you don't own it, right? Okay, very interesting. Let's just keep on with the BRICS. I watched a great interview last night. I'll highly recommend you guys check this out. The guy's name is Jim Willey. Chris Marcus had him on Arcadia Economics. And this Jim Willey guy is cool, okay? And you know, Chris Marcus, Arcadia Economics, has been putting out quality content for the silver and gold precious metals community for years and years. And he brought up a point about BRICS. You know, we got the big BRICS meeting next week. Ro, how's that make you feel? At minimum, guys, I know we talk about gold-backed currencies, all this, but at minimum, it's going to be crazy interesting what we hear from the BRICS. And remember, right? Remember, they're not going to tell us everything. There's going to be a lot of agreements, a lot of other things going on. So we're going to be fed more crumbs, but we can put the crumbs together. My dad used to have this saying, you got to look and see, you got to be able to see the forest through the trees, right? You got to see the forest through the trees. So this is what this Willie guy said. He brought up the idea, and I may slaughter this, but I'm going to do my best to convey to you what he said, because it's super exciting for precious metals investors, right? He brought up this idea of, like, why not a gold token? Everybody talks about, a common currency, and it'll be backed by gold. What if it's just a gold token that is backed up by gold? What about that? Actually backed up, actually regulated. I'm throwing that in myself, but he said they don't need a currency. They don't want a currency. Then they don't want BRICS bonds. They don't want BRICS, like we have treasury bonds, all that. No, they just want something that they can trade with. And it got me thinking. I was like, why not gold? The original pure money. Right? They want to be fair with each other. And when you watch this interview, it makes much more sense than the way I'm trying to describe it to you right now. But a gold-backed token would allow them, and regulated and audited, right, to make sure that the gold's actually there. That's the pure form of money, the original form of money. You and I know that, and I bet likely the BRICS countries know that as well. Also, something very interesting regarding gold in the world right now. What does it mean to you when you hear the fact that in Shanghai, gold is selling for $40 to $50 higher per ounce, the premium over there? What is that telling us? It's telling me that the people in Asia, the people in the BRICS countries, are stockpiling gold. What does that mean for the future of the gold price and the silver price? And I'll lay out the argument right now, right? You may or may not agree with this. You may say I'm crazy, and that's okay. But as I look at what's going on in the world, it further adds credence to my belief that, you know what? I got a secret for you. We've always been on the gold standard. We never went off the gold standard. We never left the gold standard or the silver standard, or you could even throw platinum in there as well. You know, right? Old Richard Nixon in 1971 temporarily took us off. You've heard me say it 6 zillion times. I'll say it one more time. They hated gold at that point. It became, when they took the dollar off gold, they wanted gold to do poorly. They put our friend gold in a jail cell, and guess what? On August 22nd, potentially, but if not then officially, sometime in the coming years, maybe days, gold is going to be let out on parole. And it's going to be a big, big decade ahead of us for silver and gold investors. I was watching and doing some research last night about the returns of gold and silver during the 70s as compared to real estate, as compared to the stock market and the bond market. Guys, we're in a real similar situation. Not exactly the same, but I'm telling you, there were astronomical gains for the silver price and the gold price. If I remember this correctly, sit down for a second when I tell you this. I think silver went up almost, like 35 or 50 times in value during the 1970s. Can you fathom that? Rough math. Rough, right? Like a dog, rough math. Easy for me to say. If we figure $20 silver right now, which it's not, it's higher, but if we had 35x return, that would be $700 silver. That would mean Bix Weir is wrong about his $600 prediction. And that can happen. And that happened, sure, during a time of economic turmoil, but that wasn't even with super hyperinflation. So guys, buckle up. We are in it, baby. We are in it right now. The world is changing like never before. It's not just, it's not conspiracy theorists that are throwing this stuff out there. These things happen. Thank you for the super chat, Raphael Trucking. BRICS will be a measure of gold Hold on. I'm going to read what you said. BRICS will be a measure of gold, not gold back. Very good point. Real life trucking. Very good point. And we are right now in the midst. It is happening. Okay. When Xi and Putin got together most recently, right, the president of China, the president of Russia, as they were shaking hands and leaving, there's an audio recording of this, them telling each other, we are at a period of change in history like never, ever before. Never, ever before. And we are leading the charge. Listen to this. Listen to this. You think this is not? Do you think things aren't big? You think the BRICS meeting is not big? Putin can't go because there's an arrest warrant out for him, and South Africa would have to arrest him. But listen, just listen to this. Came out this morning from ABC News, and don't worry, we're going to talk about Fortune magazine, and we're going to talk about Bank of America, earth-shattering news, okay? And it does directly relate to the silver price and the gold price. But first, let's cover this. ABC News. China confirms President Xi will attend the BRICS summit in South Africa, followed by an official state visit. China's foreign ministry has confirmed that President Xi Jinping will attend next week's summit of the BRICS nations in Johannesburg, to be followed by a state visit to South Africa. You think these countries aren't working together? I want you to think back to just think back. Can you remember 3 months ago? I know you're getting older like me. 4 months ago, maybe it was 6 months ago. Anyway, I'm getting older. Hey, our president, Joe Biden, yes, that Joe Biden, the one who's pulling off the economic miracle that here in the basement, us basement dwellers like to call it, it's not Bidenomics, it's Bidenom tricks, right? Anyway, because it's all a bunch of tricks, a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Anyway, Biden, just coincidentally, what does it mean to you that just coincidentally, before the midterm elections, made a state visit to Saudi Arabia? You know what they did? They like elbow bumped him or something, fist pumped him. They wouldn't even shake his hand. He was snubbed. He went over there to beg them to pump oil before the midterm election so gas prices would go down. They told him to take off, right? About 2 weeks later, President Xi of China went to Saudi Arabia and they like rolled out the red carpet for him. They had fighter jets going over with smoke coming out with the colors of the Chinese flag. They were buddies. It was like a party. It was like a family. Things are changing in the world right now, and they're not changing in favor of the United States. Again, I'm just reporting the facts as I see them. Maybe you see it differently. I don't know, right? And I'll tell you what, I want to protect myself. I want to protect my family. I do that with precious metals. Now, there's a company that's sponsoring my channel. Yes, right there, Pimbex. Great guys. It's actually a family-owned company, and they have a mission to keep premiums low. Now, I've worked with them in the past. I wouldn't be accepting a sponsorship if it wasn't a company that I'd already done business with. I was very happy. Check them out for yourself. I think they offer the best selection, quality, and prices. And I'll tell you something about me, guys. I am a frugal bugle. I am resourceful Ron. I am a value shopper. I want to get the best quality at the best price. And to me, I think I found that at Pimbex. Now, let's talk about Bank of America and Fortune magazine and this report that does not, it is bad. Okay, this is not good news. So if you want good news, go somewhere else. And I don't want you to go anywhere. We want to have our head out of the sand. You want to know what's going on. And we got a story from Fortune magazine, okay, about a report from Bank of America. And guys, what they're telling us is, and this is the first time in decades this is the case in the United States. What does that tell you? The first time in decades that the wealthy, the top income earners are feeling the pinch. I'm going to read you a couple of the statistics that they go through, but the people making the big money, right? The Disney World crowd, the people that can afford to take their family of 6 to Disney World for a week and blow 14 grand. They're feeling the pinch. And maybe that explains why Disney World has kind of been empty. I've seen these reports lately. I've heard it about other places as well. But here, look at this poor guy. Doesn't he look sad? He makes $190,000 a year, and he's sad about his financial situation. And I want to talk to you, and I want to get your opinion about something about being rich anyway. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But it says, by most measures, six-figure earners are the elite of America's workforce. People making more than $100,000 a year, must be nice, were the most likely to survive the mass layoffs early when that little health crisis hit back in 2020. When the work returned, they were most likely to be able to work remotely, and that's on top of typically higher income and security enjoyed in that income bracket. Bear with me here, because there's a massive kicker in this that has everything to do with the silver price and the gold price as we head into the coming, hey, we could even say weeks at this point, months and years. Bear with me. Technical problems. I'll be right back, folks. Here we go. I'm back. Okay. So these people were doing great, right? The top income earners, right? They were doing, the people making 200, 300,000, 400,000 were doing great for decades. Now, however, cracks are showing up in the top 25% of income distribution. According to recent research by Bank of America, everybody's favorite bank, that sometimes doesn't let people take money out, but that's a different story, raising the possibility that a much feared, they made up a new word on us, remember transitory, temporary, all these QE operation, now they got a new word, it's called a rich session. I don't know that I like that, but that's what they're calling it. Could be around the corner if the wealthy don't cheer up, those poor people. Unemployment is rising fastest among households making $125,000 or more. The bank said in a recent note based on analysis and deposit data. As of last month, the number of high-income households receiving unemployment benefits was about 70% higher than a year before. 70% more of the rich people, and they're not necessarily rich, they're high-income earners, are now on unemployment as opposed to a year ago, more than double the rise in the lowest income bracket, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for the super chat again. Wow. Hey, yeah, thank you. Jesus loves me. Thank you. I always appreciate the super chats, never expect them. Sometimes I say I always expect them, never appreciate them. If I ever say that on accident, that's not true. I just want you to know I really appreciate it. Thank you. But what is a rich session anyway, and how serious is the data? It says, no surprise that the wages for the top income bracket have been flat this year, while rising 3% for the lowest paid third and 2% for the middle income earners. But it's not keeping up with inflation, guys. It's not, okay? Here we go. The slowdown for the tippy top, right? The guy making 300 grand a year. I can never say this word, presage, I don't know, a bigger slowdown in consumer spending. Do you have that problem? Some of these big words, Bank of America notes, that's the key. This could be a sign of a bigger slowdown coming in consumer spending, because these people that make all that money, most of them blow it all, okay? That's what they do. You want to learn something? I'm going to tell you something. Right? So we're going to have this rich session. Now, the rich people, the high income earners, a lot of those people blow all their money. Just because they're making $250,000 a year doesn't mean they're saving anything. A lot of them have big mortgages on their house, second mortgages, car payments. They got to have a new car, right? No, I'm not casting judgment. Everybody can live their life the way they want, but a lot of them have to have a new car every 2 or 3 years. They got to send their kids to the right schools. There's a lot of, I forgot to ring the bell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I ring the bell 10 times for 100 thumbs up, and I missed it by 36. 1, 2, 3. Another 3 for you. Now, back to the story, right? These people, just because they're making a lot of money doesn't mean they have a lot of money. That is not the definition of rich. Just because a guy makes or a woman makes $350K a year doesn't make them rich. A lot of those people blow all their money, right? Disney World, school tuition, new clothes, eating out every night, whatever the case may be. But here's the big kicker in all this. Those people, a lot of them don't save any money. They blow it all. They're a huge chunk, a lion's share of consumer spending, which drives the U.S. economy. If they're starting to have big trouble, that signals big trouble for the overall economy. It's scary. Okay, we already know what the middle people are dealing with. We know what you and I are dealing with, right? We know what it's like to go to the grocery store or the gas station, the doctor, try to take your family out to have some fun, try to take them out to dinner, right? We know. And we already have that barreling at us. On top of that, what does it mean to you when you hear that 46 million Americans are soon going to have to start making a new monthly payment, or a monthly payment that has been delayed, paused for 3 years? Yes, student loan debt repayment. They're polling these people that are going to have to start making their student loan payments, and most of them are saying, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know why? Because, and do you agree with this? Real incomes are down 10% in the last, 2.5 years? When you adjust people's income now compared to 2.5 years ago, when you adjust it for inflation, they're saying 10%. And we know inflation is probably higher. There's another article came out. Big news, right? There's one thing. There's one, you don't hear people talking about it a lot right now, a lot of the gold and silver channels, but they will, and they have in the past. One of the major drivers of the silver price, gold price, and platinum price are real interest rates. Real interest rates. This is not complicated. I can cheat. Okay. I'm getting yelled at by Susie and CoinShop Chris. I am going to go back and I really appreciate all the super chats. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to go back and say thank you. But I want to teach you real quickly real interest rates. A real interest rate is basically what you earn on your money, okay? And then you subtract inflation. So if you're earning 5%, but inflation's running at 10%, your real interest rate is negative 5%, right? If you're earning 5% and the government tells you that the interest rate is the inflation rate, is 3%, that means you're earning 2% because you're beating inflation by 2%. Real interest rates, and nobody talks about it now, but we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about the bet. Real interest rates are one of the key drivers of the gold, silver, and platinum price. Okay, when real interest rates are negative, like they were, right? Like we had a situation a couple years ago where you would earn like nothing on a bond. Let's just say you earned 0% on your money in the bank, but inflation was running at 4%. You're losing 4%, right? In an environment like that, gold really thrives. And now they're telling us that real interest rates are positive. And I call BS. If you're going to believe that, buddy, you better just take out a piece of paper right now. I want you to do something and start writing down what you want Santa Claus to deliver for you on December 25th. Because if you're going to believe that we actually have positive real interest rates right now, you might as well be believing in Santa Claus, because the real inflation rate is still much higher than what the government is telling us. Let me run through here, okay, and see who gave a super chat. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Hey, before I forget, this is fun. 350 people on a Friday morning, you and me talking silver and gold. Thank you for being here, okay? You're so important. Please, this is free. Give it a thumbs up. And when you give it a thumbs up, it's weird. It works. More and more people join the live stream. It's fun. From wherever you are in the world, please, it's free. Thumbs up. Thank you for the super chats. Oh, boy, the computers, bear with me. We got more to talk about. A guy who's running for president that I listened to. This is not a political show, but I would highly recommend you listen to this guy. And I don't even know his name, but he's easy to find. Bear with me. Bear with me. Fairy tales. Here we go. Darcy, thank you for the super chat. Keaton, that's what I missed. Thank you, my friend. You know, I do my best, and you guys make this possible. So thank you so much. Let me get back to this here. Oh. How do you feel about Bitcoin? How do you feel about Bitcoin? Now, I'm not a big believer in Bitcoin, but you can believe whatever you want, right? You can believe we have positive real interest rates. You can believe in Santa Claus, and you too can believe in Bitcoin. Seriously, that's fine. There's a lot of smart people that believe in Bitcoin, but Bitcoin, hey, thank you, Mark. Wow, man, thank you for the super chat. Super. Hold on. We're going to talk about Bitcoin because we got a heartbreaker today with Bitcoin, unfortunately. Mark Razor says we're all feeling the heat, regardless of how well off we are. Can't wait for the next election. Yeah, let me just jump into this. I watched. It is not a political show at all. You can believe in whatever political ideology you want. This is really a silver and gold channel. But I did watch a super interesting interview between Tucker Carlson and this Indian fella who's running for president. Wow, this guy was like, he did blow me away. And he was like, Americans just want to know the truth. You know, we do, don't we? We want to know the truth. And that's what I know that about you too. It's like you are the type person, I can tell you from knowing you, number one, you're kind and nice. 99%, right? We don't have really hardly any troubles with people on this channel, but you're also very smart and you're a big boy. We want to know the truth, right? Just tell us the truth. And they're talking about how, wow, thank you, Kirsten, man. And you are in Denmark, correct? I think I got that right. Thank you, Kirsten. Super appreciated. I got some DKKs. I'm a lucky guy. It's my lucky day. I got some DKKs. We want to know the truth. And I've heard more, like there's never been, some people are saying there's never been the level of deception of the public like we have right now. I don't know. You know, this is, again, I'm just saying what other people are saying. I don't know how you feel about that. Let me ask you guys that question. Do you feel that right now, I want you to answer yes or no, that there is a high level of deception going on in terms of the general news that the average person, look, I'm average, right? We're all unique. We're all special. You are a basement dweller. Man, my honor that you're here right now. My honor. Yes. Okay. But do we have a level of deception? Is it high right now? Yes or no? Do you feel like people are being told the truth about what's going on? I'm just curious how people... Hello, Annie Oakley. Thank you for being here. Daniel says yes. Annie says yes. Yes. Ricky's House of Crap. Welcome to Ricky's House of Crap. Greg Edmonds, yes. Oh, man. Sassy Silver. The girls love their... they love their Australian coins, and CoinShop Chris told me those are very rare. So thank you again. For those of you who didn't know, I opened a package yesterday from Sassy Silver. She gave my daughters 2 beautiful Australian coins, wombats, and they are awesome. So thank you. Yes. Oh yeah, we need some likes. Hey, we're almost to 200 likes, guys. I'm not giving up. We got a lot more that we need to talk about as well. Okay, because we talked about how when the economy goes into the pooper, I'm not going to get that out today. When the economy starts to struggle, okay, let me get in a little secret. Jerome Powell is going to print money. That's all they can do. All right. Either way, people that have silver, people that have gold and platinum, I'm talking in my whisper voice like I do when I'm talking to Susie at night before bed. People that have silver, people that have gold, platinum are going to be okay because most likely they're going to print. Hey, thank you, J.O., for the super chat. That's really awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to go back. I'm going to talk about what you said there. They're going to print, and that's going to make the price of the metals go up. If they don't, if they do decide, who knows, right? We never know what these people are up to. We gotta look at the crumbs they leave. Like Andy Schectman says. By the way, I'm going to have Andy Schectman on an interview on August 29th. So you can look forward to that. Yes, that Andy Schectman is going to be a guest here in the basement, and I am so excited about it. Nonetheless, we got to look at the crumbs, right? And guys, if they don't print, they're going to let things crash. But guess what? We win either way. Because if things crash, your silver, your gold, your platinum, it will be valuable too. Okay? That's a fact. That is an absolute fact. Let me go up here. J.O., thank you for the super chat. It is always appreciated. Thank you, man. Tie a cryptocurrency to silver and gold, and you will have the ultimate currency. Vivek, yes, that's the guy, is everyone's best option for president. Again, I'm not a political show. I will say, Vivek, wow, that guy, I was impressed, you know? I mean, I hate to say this, but, you know, we've got such a great president right now who's doing such a wonderful job and is so on top of things. I mean, the Bidenomics is doing an awesome. So it's a high bar for Vivek to get over. But nonetheless, I happen to overall agree with that. A cryptocurrency backed by gold, a digital currency, however you want to say it. The big key when it comes to that concept is the fact that the gold, silver, platinum, whatever it's tied to, is there. You've got to give people an absolute level of assurance that it's whatever that token would be, and if it represents 1 ounce of gold, that gold is there, and that it's transparent, and it's audited, and it's regulated, and people have 100% confidence that if they show up wherever they can go to get it, right, that they can exchange their token for physical metal. Maybe they won't want to because they can just use it for purchases or transactions, whatever, electronically. But when and if they do, that metal is there, right? Because that's the whole basis of silver and gold, that if you don't hold it, you don't own it, but you better make sure it's there. People want to know that. Right. And, you know, I know that Iran and Russia had talked about developing a gold-backed digital currency, and they said that was the big key. You know, so I'm not making any geopolitical or otherwise statements. I'm just telling you the facts as I know them. OK, hold on here. We got more. Oh, here. We already talked about the be prepared mentally, and are you prepared mentally? Are you prepared? The M&M. You want to be an M&M. You're a basement dweller. I like M&Ms. You got to be prepared. The M&M. Are you prepared monetarily, and are you prepared mentally? Are you an M&M, right? A regular M&M. Because what's coming down the pike, what's coming down the track, what's barreling down the mountain at us has the potential to be very, very scary. Okay, and it's easy just to think about it, but have you really thought about, like, are you prepared? And are you mentally and monetarily prepared for what could be, right? We don't know. I hope I'm wrong in thinking that there is a rather significant risk that we could be facing some tough times. Look at the situation with people right now. An average American, credit card debt through the roof, interest rates through the roof. Could you imagine buying a house right now? Don't we all need a house? We all either need to rent somewhere to live or own a house. And if you don't own something right now, the prospect of becoming a homeowner or a condominium or whatever it's unbelievable. The interest rates have shot up. They are higher now. Let this sink in. They are higher now, interest rates on mortgages, than any time since 2002. okay? And we've got weirdness everywhere. This dawned on me the other night. What does it feel like to you that there's weirdness everywhere in the economy? There's no other way to say it. I know it's not a fancy word, but weirdness. And that's a result of we are still working through, guys, they printed 40% of the US dollars that are in existence were printed during like a 9-month period after the little health crisis we had in March of 2020. The big health crisis. Sorry, whatever, the crisis. We're still working through all that. All those years of 0% interest rate. The housing market is screwy. Yeah, I was sitting out this morning on the front porch. I talked to a realtor. Okay, I was watching my daughters get on their school bus for their first day of middle school. Kind of emotional. Not as bad as kindergarten, but emotional. And Ted, my neighbor, walked by. He's a successful realtor. Oh, I got to ring the cowbell. I'll do that in 1 second. Let me tell you what Ted said. Ted's a great guy. If you're in St. Louis and you need to buy a house, I can hook you up with Ted. He really is. He's legit. Anyway, and we were just chatting. He asked me what I'm doing. I said, I got a YouTube channel and wonderful people. And he said, yeah, I bet. He's really a great guy. And I said, well, how's real estate? He said, it's been a rough year. Because you're hearing, house prices, the volume, it's just weird out there. It is weird. It's gonna get weirder. This is Ron's basement. But first, without further ado, you are part of the 200 thumbs up live stream. So help me ring that bell. You ready? 1, 2, 3. I think that was the longest ring ever, and that's for you today. It's going to get weirder, okay? Now, Bloomberg, Bloomberg, right? They're like probably the most prestigious financial news organization. What are they saying about Americans' ability to pay their bills? And what does that mean as we head down this pike here, right? How people are going to be, what's going to happen to the economy, how people are going to survive. Bloomberg reports the San Francisco Federal Reserve, and we trust anything we hear from the Federal Reserve, right? The San Francisco Federal Reserve, before I give you this nugget, will you please, if you haven't already, please give this a thumbs up. It really does help, okay? I'm going to say it quick. That's it. Now, the San Francisco Federal Reserve, according to Bloomberg, said that Americans have pretty much spent through completely all of their savings that they accumulated during the post 2020 when there was free money, unicorn fart dust floating around for everyone, right? And especially if you're wealthy, you got an extra dose of unicorn fart dust. That's all gone. It's getting dicey out there, guys, and it's going to get dicier. Now, right now, I want you to do one thing, because we're going to move on to something, but you got an assignment. Welcome to Ron's classroom. I don't know what you're going to learn, but you're going to learn something. You have an assignment. If you have something bouncing around in your head, right? 3 question marks, go to the chat, type question mark, and then say what it is, and we're going to talk about it. The floor is yours. Not until, though. Not until. Hold on here. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to sing either. I was going to give you the word of the day. If you guys want the word of the day, and it does have to do with silver and gold, tell me in the comments. I'll give you the word of the day. Okay? Let's just touch on real quickly. This was the big story of the week, according to the CNBC and Fox Business and Yahoo Finance and Bloomberg and Reuters. The big story this week was going to be retail, right? Retail sales. And we had Walmart that gave us earnings, and we had Target that gave us earnings. Target, guys, let's revisit this quickly. Target, the big Target store, which I'm not real fond of, but anyway, Target, they came out and said, we got trouble. Things are not looking good. People, they specifically said the restart of the student loan repayment and interest rates are hurting their business significantly. But don't worry, because there's good news. You're in my favorite store of all time, Walmart, came out with great earnings, increased foot traffic, but what does that tell us, right? What does that tell you that Walmart's doing well? I'll tell you why Walmart's doing well, because people can't afford to shop at now the higher end grocery stores or the higher end department stores. So where are they going? They're trading down to Walmart. And where are the people going that used to get their food at Walmart but can't afford that anymore? Can't afford their clothes anymore? They're going to the dollar store because there's a growing phenomena called dollar store dining, where people are talking about recipes they make with ingredients they get at the dollar store. And nothing against the dollar store. I love to go there. My kids love going there because the candy's good selection. But the food, for in terms of your ability to feed yourself, you don't want to be going to the dollar store. So that's telling us that people are absolutely hurting right now. Okay? All right, let's go. Let's see if we got questions. Thank you again, J.O., for that awesome. Walmart is selling tiny homes. Yeah, Patrick Pearl points out. Did you hear about this? What does it tell you? Walmart is selling tiny homes, like sheds that you can live in, for under $10,000. When it comes to to where you live and how much money you are spending right now to live, for the first time in the history of the United States, the first time in history, on average, Americans are spending more than 30% of their income on housing costs. But everything's fine, okay? Everything's fine. Ron, Craig Edmonds, do you feel like becoming a celebrity? I'm a fan, man. Boy, I tell you what, Craig, I'm your newest fan. I'm a celebrity down here with the bear. I'm still wondering what the bear has in the box from Pimbex. Maybe we're going to find out real soon. Those guys at Pimbex, that family-owned company, right, the online bullion dealer, you know what they did? They promised they would send me a 10-ounce bar, a Britannia, that I could give to you. So look out, because there's going to be a video coming out about it, and all you're going to have to do is leave a comment, only one comment, and the software I use will only let you have one entry anyway, and you can win a 10-ounce Britannia bar. But I don't know. We'll have to see pretty soon. There's going to be a video, and you'll have to leave a comment on that video, so we're going to have to check what's in that box here sometime soon. Okay. Craig Edmonds, me a celebrity. No, Craig, I've only thought about taking over the entire world, not just becoming a celebrity. Oh, boy. Let's talk TM, the numismatic. Let's talk about I don't know what the TMF INR girl is. That doesn't make sense to me. Hopefully that's nothing nasty. If you want to give me more info or send me an email about that, I absolutely will. CoinChop Chris, guys, do me a favor, okay? Type 5, because you know what? I'm going to tell you something about CoinChop Chris. Type the number 5 if you want to say thanks to CoinChop Chris, because I happen to know on good word, we joke around each other about who likes ding dongs, you know, those Hostess cakes better. CoinChop Chris eats almost 5 ding dongs a day. He's going to kill me after this. Maybe 6, but 5. Oh my God, look at all the people who love CoinChop Chris. Hey, Susie. We'll do Susie tomorrow. Anyway, Desert Rose, Patrick Pearl, Ron eats 10. What are you talking about? I don't eat 10 ding dongs a day. I eat a banana every day. You may know that. This is not a political or a health and fitness channel, you know. And when people saw my picture from when we were on vacation at Lake Geneva, they said I looked overweight, and that was just because the shirt I had on was plaid, and that makes people look fat. I eat a banana every day, every morning. That's what fuels this, what you see right now. I love bananas. All right, guys, questions? I'm ready. Okay, here, Patrick Pearl put in 3 question marks to get my attention, like I asked, and then he said, what are your thoughts on the BRICS? Apparently, the USA dollars will require $55 to buy 1 BRICS dollar. Yeah, I don't know a lot about that, Patrick, but I've heard that, and I forget the rationale behind it. Like maybe here's the rationale behind that 55. I may slaughter this, but I think I got it right. $55 is about equivalent of 1 gram of gold. There's 30 grams roughly. Maybe it's 33, 32. I don't know. They're 30 grams in an ounce. So a gram of gold is around $55 or $60. So people are floating now this idea that there's going to be this brick currency that'll be worth, one brick will be worth 1 gram of gold or $55. You know, there's that fascinating idea that Zoltan Pulsar from Credit Suisse put out about a year ago now, that the Russians could, and the BRICS could potentially revalue oil in gold. Because right now, let's say roughly for each gram of gold, you get 1 barrel of oil. This is interesting, guys. For 1 gram of gold, which is worth, let's say, $60, you roughly get 1 barrel of oil. That if they revalued the gold to oil relationship and said, now you get 2 barrels of oil for 1 gram of gold, people think, oh, well, that would be bad for oil. No, the oil market is, I forget the number. I did some research on this, but I think it's 10 times bigger or maybe even 100 times bigger than the gold market. That would instantly make the price of gold double. How does that make you feel? What would that do to silver, right? If they did that, if they said 1 gram of gold now gets you 2 barrels of oil, that would mean that a gram of gold is roughly worth now 120 US dollars. If we want to measure it in, you know, we haven't talked about this for a while, paper money, paper. This is light, this is nothing. If you want to measure it in unicorn fart dust, UFD. Right? And that would be the other one that we talk about now all the time down here, us basement dwellers. Man, I'm so happy you're here. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up because we're almost at 300. And at 300, today's the absolute, almost hit my Buddy Rumble crystal ball. Today's the absolute last day ever that I'm ever going to hit the bell with my nose. So if you want to be part of that, please let's get to, we have 400 people here. Do you think we can get to 500? I'm going to stick around. We got more to talk about, right? Okay. Now, guys, it's unicorn fart dust. It really is. When Nixon took us off the gold standard, what's the dollar backed by? Well, it was oil for a while, but now they're even saying, meh, we're done with the petrodollar. We refer to it, us basement dwellers, as unicorn fart dust. It's based on nothing. Has it maintained its value? I mean, how does that make you feel that, like, you know, when I was a little boy, back in, let's say, 1980, this was a big deal. My mommy gave me one of these. You know, I could go do a lot of stuff with that. If I give that to my kids now, they say, Daddy, they can walk to a grocery store by our house. If I give them $2, my daughter, I felt bad the other day. She came home. She said, I only gave her $3, but she bought something off the clearance rack, some cinnamon crunch cookie thing. I mean, the dollar has lost its value. If you'd given this to your great grandpa back in 1935, it was a real big deal. It was a huge deal. He could take your great grandma out for dinner. If you give this to your current great grandpa, he'll be like, oh, what can I use that for? I don't even think you can't even get a Coke out of a machine. So, you know, the fact that the dollar just continues, that's the fact. And when we look at what's going on with the national debt, and you can't talk about that enough, and the deficit that's making the debt even bigger, and the fact that interest rates have shot up, which is going to make the interest expense go up more, which is going to make the debt go up even bigger, which will mean there's a bigger debt, that the higher interest rates, it's a doom loop. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's really talking about it. Did we get to, oh, hey guys, hold on a second. Let me get back here. Okay, Ron. Oh yeah, guys, this is critically important, okay? I will never ask you to contact me on WhatsApp. There are scammers out there, not just from my channel, every channel. Be very, very careful. Links that you click on, I will never The only way, if you want to contact me, send me an email. My email address is in every one of the video descriptions. One of you sent me a screenshot on a comment. They'd made a comment in one of my videos, and then somebody, they make up profiles that look just like me, right? It looks like me, it sounds like me, and the guy said, hey, this is Ron from Ron's Basement. Call me on WhatsApp. That's not me. Be careful, not just with my channel, with any channel in general. Always look at, I get scammed. You want to hear, they try to scam me all the time. I get these emails and they make it look like it's from a legit company. Like, whoa, we're from XYZ, Pepsi, and we love your show, and we want you to put a can of Pepsi on your desk, and we're going to pay you X amount of dollars, and it's a scam, right? I mean, it gets me all excited. I think I'm going to get rich. No, I'm not. Because I actually kind of clicked on one, I don't know, it's three, and then it's a big scam. They want your bank information. Be careful out there, guys. Never, be careful what you click on, and be even more super careful with any of your banking information, okay? Because there are mad people. Craig Edmonds, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to talk in my nighttime voice. My wife's name is Britannia. Oh, that's awesome. She would love a 10-ounce bar. Well, Craig, there's going to be a video, right? And you'll be able to just leave a comment in the video. I'll probably have you say something like Pimbex or something like that. You'll be entered, and then we're going to do the drawing 2 weeks from Sunday. So 2 weeks from this Sunday. I forget what the date was. I got it written down. But that'll be three question marks. Annie, Oakley, Becca, Mary. Yeah, it is getting, thank you, Chris, for that. $2 bills are bad luck. I got to get rid of that thing, huh? Wow. Super chat. I got a super chat. Susie's yelling at me again. From Craig Edmonds. Yeah, thank you, Craig. Yes, I read that already. That's okay. Susie's yelling at me through the closed chute. So, things get crazy. Can we get 5 more thumbs up? That would be awesome. I'd love to ring the bell for you, okay? Don't forget, questions, 3 question marks. What? You want my opinion on something? I'd be happy to give it to you. I'll take your I'll take the $2 bills too, right? Absolutely. All right, guys. Hey, let's just take a step back here. Let me take a breath. Let's see what's, we almost got to 300. It's getting interesting. We got a few more things to talk about. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh my God, we got 300 thumbs up. This will be the last time ever that I ring the bell with my nose, because I got to keep things professional. Oh, Bitcoin. Bitcoin tumbles. Let's look. Hold on. Let me tell you, give you an update on Bitcoin. Now, a lot of smart people like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is down below 26,000, down 8%. Hold on here. Let's look at gold. According to Yahoo Finance, gold's up, silver's up a little bit. I'm not a believer in Bitcoin, and maybe you are, and that's okay, right? I will say this, the people in the Bitcoin community, we do share one thing, and that is our understanding of the financial system and how the dollar is going to go bye-bye eventually. Nothing lasts forever, right? I mean, feels like it because it's been around since we've been born, but nothing lasts forever. So we do share that common bond with the Bitcoin community. And maybe some of you like Bitcoin and crypto. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's a lot of smart people. I'll say that. To me, I still can't get over how can something that's nothing really be worth anything. And then there's the whole, if the power goes out and all that crazy stuff. I don't know. It's interesting. The whole situation there. Oh, I got to ring the bell 3 times. All right, I'll do it. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Man, that hurts. All right, guys. Thank you for all your continued support. All right, you're awesome. I'm going to look quickly to make sure I didn't miss anything. This is not possible without you, the viewers. There is no Ron's Basement. It's not RonTube, it's YouTube. You. All right? So you make this happen, and you're just as important as I am, and I know you're important to a lot of other people in your lives. So remember that. I don't need to tell you this because I know it's true of all of you. We are a nice group, a caring group of people within this community and within all the other communities in which you exist, right? We know we're smart. We know it feels better to be nice. It feels better. Our words are powerful. They really are, especially with kids. I'm going to tell you this quick one. I read a couple kid books, and there's one thing that really stuck out to me. Kids, be nice to a kid. You never know. Kids are so sensitive. We forget that. We look at kids and we think they're little adults, so we can talk to them like, no, kids are so sensitive. This book had a line that I'll never forget. It said, be careful what you say to a kid, because what to you is just maybe an offhand little remark or even a joke could feel like to them that they're being hit by a bulldozer. So be nice to a kid today, okay? I was nice to a kid yesterday. It feels good, and you can build on the momentum. You guys are always nice to me, and hey, we're all kids at heart. I'll see you next time. Thank you for being here.